Hello there, just a quick video today to show you the various items that we carry on all our trips for the purpose of navigation. So first of all, possibly the most important item for navigation is just simply a compass. So probably only weighs about 20 grams. And attached to the lanyard of the compass we just have our touchscreen GPS. So the touchscreen GPS actually unhooks or comes off that mount. I'll just take the camera over here and show you why we do that. So once I take the GPS off, it actually goes onto the mountain bike there. So that black plastic mount you saw on the lanyard is just another bike mount. So if I'm not wearing it around my neck, so that lanyard is just an old shoelace. So as I'm hiking along, I'll have the GPS tucked inside my shirt and the compass just hanging out. So touchscreen GPSs possibly are the most useful navigation tool in modern day hiking, but the problem is they're not always going to work. Sometimes they fail, the batteries can go flat, they can stop working when the temperature is cold. This Garmin GPS, for example, will freeze up simply if the memory is full, but it has served me quite well for about 4 years. But at no point do I rely entirely on that for navigation. So remember that the traditional compass is always going to be your most reliable tool in navigation. Next to your topography map. So we always carry a topography map on any hike that we go on. Hopefully the camera is reading that nicely. So the topography map is paper, of course, so it's inside this waterproof plastic pouch. And also inside the pouch, what I've been carrying on a few of our recent hikes in the Alps is this Excel spreadsheet that I've printed out. I got off the internet, off an Australian website, and it is actually the GPS coordinates of all the refuge huts on the mainland of the east coast of Australia. So you probably can't read that on the screen, but there's the GPS coordinates. So before we set out on hikes in the Alps, I will have the location of those huts, or the local huts, saved not only in the Garmin GPS, but also here's my Suunto watch you may have seen in my videos. So this has the capability of saving GPS locations and waypointing. So another thing we do is at the beginning of any hike, I will activate a feature in the watch that basically records our entire hike. So at any point, if we are lost, I can find our way back. And one thing I'd recommend is when you do set up your tent, immediately try to save the location of your campsite. So inside this watch I have saved the location of probably about 20 or 30 of our previous campsites. I'll just see if I can bring them up there. So 64 points of interest saved. So you can see there it's saying building 9, building 2, they're the huts that I've saved. So one thing I did want to mention today is the importance of understanding magnetic declination. So depending where you are in the world, your compass may not actually be pointing directly at north. For example, here in the southeast of Australia, this compass is pointing about 11 degrees east of true north. So that red needle you're looking at there, as you can see, it's pointing in kind of that direction. Well, true north is in fact 11 degrees back in this direction. So my needle is about 11 or 12 degrees east of true north. So it's something you just need to be aware of if you are relying on the compass for navigation. And there are some parts of the world where it's even more important. For example, on the South Island of New Zealand, your compass could be about 25 degrees east of true north. But if you are living close to the equator in a country like the Philippines, your compass should be almost zero, so there's no need to worry too much about declination. But I think, for example, in California, you'll be experiencing 12 degrees east declination, So otherwise there's lots of videos online about declination, so maybe I shouldn't go into it too much. Just thought I'd mention that today. Just another couple of points about my Suunto watch. I've now had this for 2 years, and I would just like to say I'm just absolutely impressed in its reliability. Probably the most impressive thing is its resistance to extreme cold. So I've had this watch down to -7 and -8 degrees. Most electronic devices you really can't trust to perform properly at those temperatures. Well, a lot anyway. Some cameras I've found work at that temperature, but iPhones, my touchscreen GPS will actually freeze at that temperature. So an extremely tough device that has never failed me. I'm not endorsed by Suunto, I'm not being paid by Suunto, I'm just sharing this info with you today. So absolutely waterproof, absolutely freeze proof. I even have a subscriber who recently said to me that he'd actually put his Suunto watch in the freezer to test the temperature of the freezer, and he had his watch down to -10 degrees. So definitely not something you'd probably do with your iPhone or your touchscreen GPS, is put them in a freezer for a whole hour. So extremely useful. And another point is you actually can save in magnetic declination. In fact, we might be able to see it now, but my Suunto watch actually has declination adjusted right now. So let's just hope we can see that. You see the compass, the needle of the compass should be pointing at magnetic north, but the black arrow on the Suunto watch should be pointing at true north, and you can see there is a slight difference in the angle. So with 11 degrees of east declination set, the Suunto watch is actually pointing at true north. But again, the Suunto watch does rely on battery, so there is a small chance that it could fail in the field, although that's never happened to me yet. So that's where the compass just gives you unlimited navigation possibilities. And there's the lovely Christina cooking. What are you cooking today, sweetie?
French cutlets.
French cutlets. Just swing around here and show you the temporary campsite we've got set up here. So just a bit of a picnic here in the Australian bush.